run the jungle, and if you don't know me, I'm a hangry animal, and you know that I'm hungry. We got zebras, we got gorillas, and if you try to sell, then it's Thriller in Manila.
Good Saturday morning, my hangries. How are we all? It's Marvin the Minter, aka Prince of Wales, saying hi. It's been a mad week. Very quiet on our front. Socials are just doing their thing, just murmuring along. And, we've been doing some house cleaning along the way, which I'll explain in a bit. But I thought we'd do just a follow-up and a catch-up on where everything is and what we've been up to behind the scenes, really. Hope you like my, my scene. It's better than the visuals of an attic from which Hangry Towers operates on the international scale. So, I thought we'd start with just the week in NFTs and launches and things that I've found that are super awesome. I do like James White's project with the Neon Reaper and all of that kind of 80s, what you remember from the 80s in terms of cartoons and creative. And, there is some inspiration in there from what he's done and what we're building here. So the Starcade project that he's got, which is going to end up being a board game. But essentially the drop happened the last couple of days, and the reveal is after 6 p.m. tonight on Twitter and in the Discord, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. Didn't manage to bag one. Too busy, too busy doing Hangry. But I really like the project and the vibrancy of the color schemes and stuff that they've got for each of the characters. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rares. Looking forward to seeing what kind of style they go with for the rares. Because as an illustrator and a creative, I'm just absorbing inspiration for other projects as they reveal. There's some backlash on Hate Beast. Some people online are saying the revealed illustrations or the revealed models are a bit shit, and they've got some layers that are clashing where you've got hats overlapping ears. That's my fear too. That's a bad thing to happen, but it's inevitable if you're doing a generative layered style project. So checking each and every individual NFT is going to be part of the challenge. It almost feels like Hate Beast are going to have to re-upload some of those final rendered characters to switch out any characters that have errors on them. And I'm fully prepared for that as well. I think we will need to keep a very keen eye on that and do an update that drop to IPFS for anything that happens to be erroneous or looks weird. Fully prepared for that. And that's why we're leaving that IPFS open for a while until things are settled once we launch and once the Hangries are in people's hands. So yeah, that's cool. But Starcade, have a look for Starcade. It's super cool. Really, really like the characters. And all the best to James and the team. It's looking super cool. Polygon has raised its head, and certain people have ideas about where there's value, whether there is value on Polygon, what we do with our release, and do we stay on mainnet, do we stay on ETH? And to be honest with you, I'm torn, really am torn as to where we take the deployment, where's best to roll it out first of all. And part of the reason why we're thinking Polygon is for lower fees, but that's becoming more of a challenge now because Polygon fees were higher than Ethereum in terms of gas in the last week or so, on average, because there's a game deployed on Polygon that was super intensive and transactional heavy. So it just meant the gas fees were pumping the price up. But I don't know, I think we're still in the mindset of going against the grain. Phantom hasn't got enough of a fan base or an onboarding process that we're comfortable with to be able to go to that chain. So it's likely going to be a a Polygon stroke Ethereum hybrid as we get closer to our pre-sale and launch. Staying on an EVM, an Ethereum virtual machine, will give us control as to where we roll that out. Binance, what marketplace have we got on Binance that you can really rely on to roll out a collection and have that visibility? Right now, I'm not sure. Although good friends of ours at Pi Protocol are in the midst of rolling out an OpenSea competitor marketplace on Binance. So who knows? Who knows? We'd certainly want to go cross-chain. Interoperability cross-chain, I'm not sure, but certainly want to have a rollout on each chain that we feel will bring value, especially in the gamification side of it, in the Hangry training and the audition style game elements that we're building. So yeah, lots to think about, but in my head for the whole time since September, I think we've been going around the houses in terms of pros and cons of what chain to go on, and it just keeps arcing back to Polygon for some reason. And I don't know, there's this fighting against the grain of going with your instinct against listening to common sense. You don't always listen to common sense and go with our heart, and go with where we can see the most utility being rolled out, especially with Reverse on Polygon, especially with block duelers being able to interoperate cross-chain anyway, so it's not really a massive issue on that front. And takes me on to Swappable. Swappable deal with Polygon the most, so that's where we're going to try and do our rollout. So yeah, lots to think about. Other things in the news this week, just popped up this morning for me really, is that Nike are filing an infringement of copyright against a NFT sneaker platform who have been selling Nike models, so three-dimensional models of Nike trainers on their platform. So they filed an infringement case against them. The biggest of its kind, to my knowledge, and food for thought really, as we incorporate certain elements, certain brand elements into our skins, and the movie, and all of those pieces will play into how we collaborate and partner up with brands for this project, because we do not want to be in a position where we're compromised because of a slogan on a t-shirt, or because of one of the Hangrys is wearing a pair of sneakers that is licensed and we don't have the copyright to use. So we're going to have to be super careful and business-like about how we operate. This is turning into a viable business for NFTs, utility, gaming, movie rights, brand licensing, and merchandise, which is freaking cool to think about that from a perspective of it was just a grin, it was just a laugh, and I just wanted to do some illustrations that Coin was hinting at, and this is where we're at. So I keep on reminding myself that this is a fun journey, and enjoying the journey is cool, because sometimes the destination can be a bit shit. So I'm keeping that in my mind. The other thing in the news is obviously that Bored Ape Yacht Club founders were undoxed against their will in the last couple of hours, the last couple of days, and embracing that notoriety of a team of people who are now visible to a community. How does everybody else feel about that? I mean, my face is very much front and center in these videos and stuff, and I think I'm cool with whichever way it goes, because everybody will get to know that this community has been honest from the off, transparency around what we're doing with contracts, rollout and delays and stalls in releasing and deploying the project, mint windows and all that business. I think we're very much in the mindset that this thing needs to stay as transparent as possible in wherever we do. So yeah, well, good luck to them. Bored Ape Yacht Club is amazing. 1 billion market cap, just announced. So last dollar, That's super dollar. Smart contract audit. We're in the middle of transitioning to a different auditor, because just the auditors we had are nowhere to be seen, and they've responded once. I've shared some access to a GitHub repo where I've redeployed a secondary smart contract with the changes in it that includes the ERC 721 alteration to the standard that Azuki shared with me, and they haven't opened the invite. So we're now having a conversation and have shared that repo with TechRate, and TechRate will come back to us in 3 or 4 days, and we'll have some go forward in terms of smart contract audit, which I've been asking for since mid-December. So that will come. We've been working on a marketing plan. So we've been putting a very comprehensive marketing plan of how we can reach our goals, and it goes beyond the launch. It goes beyond the pre-sale and the public sale. So yeah, we're working our way through a strategic, very public marketing plan, which all will be revealed in good time, and yeah, everybody will be pleased, I think, with what we're doing. We're also behind the scenes working on a couple more marketing plans, a couple more partnership opportunities, which have come our way. I won't say anything just yet, so we'll have a bit of a conversation in the week as to what those pieces are. We'll announce to the community when that happens. We also have continued our conversation with block dealers, because the integration of the Hangry NFTs into their platform will start in earnest. Obviously, we need to wait for our deployment and our rollout in order to do that fully, but the preparation work for Hangry dealers will begin to happen now as we go into the latter half of February. And the last thing really in terms of an updates for things that we're actively doing project-wise and product-wise, the metaverse skins. So the Hippo is coming to an end of development with the build. So we've remeshed or retopology or retopologized the Hippo skin, and then we'll have an opportunity to put slogans, taglines, shadow work, more chains, strap lines and taglines on the caps and whatnot. So once that's done, we can switch out the skin to our heart's content, really. So that's cool. So I should be able to sign that off this week. Next Friday is when I'll be signing off the final skin for the Hippo. What that means is then I can go and share that skin with the guys at Flinders University in Australia, and they can start putting it into a metahuman bone and skin and getting an actor to jump around in it. So you may see Otis the Hippo doing some somersaults and some breakdance moves very soon, which I'm looking forward to. The lip sync inside of it will take a bit longer, because what we call morph targets, where you can transition between one head shape to another head shape based on the mouth shape, the morph targets won't be connected to the metahuman yet. That needs a bit more work before we can seriously do it. The other thing really is Bomber and the mods team and the sort of the social management team have been considering, and I agree really, that we do a whitelist only pre-sale. Now we're looking at other projects, and I think we may be giving away our most precious asset a bit too frequently or freely. And on the basis of that, I think we need to protect what we think is going to be a substantially viable project. And in doing so, I think a whitelist only pre-sale where the community's contribution to the project is all based on your activity. It's based on the amount of shares, and it's based on that social engagement, that community engagement that you do. Even me, I've been a bit quiet in the community because we've been in meetings most of the time. So I think we'll stick with that, and it will be a whitelist only pre-sale rollout with a price point that is competitive, but it's not stupid. You know, we've got to be realistic here. We want to be as open and as available to as many people as possible. I do like Bored Ape Yacht. I did like Bored Ape Yacht Club's concept that, you know, 0.08 ETH across the board. That price didn't change for mint, and you know, that strategy got them where they are today, $1 billion market cap. Nuts. But because we had private pre-sale at 0.07, we're going to do the private pre-sale, the pre-sale at an equal sort of level, but mirrors where ETH was when we deployed 0.07 ETH for private pre-sale. So we will monitor the levels of ETH through the next month, and we'll make a decision towards the latter half of February and take it from there. Lastly, you may notice that there's, I wouldn't say considerably less, but less numbers in the community. And there's a reason for that. We've removed all bots and bad actors that were not active, that did not post a message, that were just pushed into there by previous partners. And we're just making a very conscious effort to make sure that everybody in this community is actually genuine people who are engaging, who are having conversations with us about what we can do, the what ifs, you know, get some ideas in the vault in Discord. We love it. There's some super cool concepts in there that we really want to bring into our second roadmap once we've rolled out this first piece, and yeah, continue to build. So yeah, appreciate everybody's involvement in that. Elliot, Manifesta, Hangry Hippo, Jay, Bomber. There's such cool ideas in there that I really want to integrate a lot of those pieces. It may not be in the first drop, but it'll certainly be in the second and third drop, which will happen because we've got so much ideas and concepts that we want to share with the community, like the Shalakis, the army, the queens, the, you know, all of the minions and the jesters, all of the sort of infrastructure around that species will be sort of an airdrop, but also a collectible concept that we want to share further down the track. Same thing with the metaverse. I think in the community, I'd shared the idea of the concept that you can only buy the metaverse inside the metaverse, which I think is super cool. So we'll figure out those mechanics and maybe look at something like Terra Virtua, where you can sell NFTs inside your own space, or, you know, Decentraland or whatever. There's so much out there that we do want to continue that conversation and see where we can take it. So yeah, transparency, honesty, and community engagement. You know, that's what we want for Hangry Animals, and that's what we'll continue to do. That's me for a Saturday. Hope you enjoyed that and giving you enough information to realize that we ain't going anywhere. We're still building and we're still enjoying the journey. Nice one. Peace out.
I run the jungle, and if you don't know me, I'm a hangry animal, and you know that I'm hungry. We got zebras, we got gorillas, and if you try to sell, then it's